The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Inside the 10, touchdown Lobo.
It's Dumas, touchdown, New Mexico.
Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome back into your Lobo Coaches Show. It's another edition with Lobo head football coach Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy and Coach D. You guys go to the Blue. You take on Boise State. Your defense is great at the outset, but a couple of things happen, and it kind of feels like your team shoots itself in the foot in that first half.
I thought we did over and over. I thought the result was very disappointing. Offensively, obviously, we did not move the ball successfully. We jump off sides on the very first play, and I think that has the potential to be a big play, and it might change the trajectory of the entire game offensively. Defensively, we kept out of the end zone up until the final 7 seconds. Was very disappointed with that. And then the 2 block punts. You're not going to win games if you get 2 block punts for touchdowns.
So the 2 block punts for touchdowns happened very early on, and you're trying to keep your team from being deflated. What's it like on the sideline?
You know, the energy was good still. I think the defense playing good enough kind of kept that up. Offensively, we were just frustrated. I mean, we made some mistakes. Like I said, the jumping off sides. We had some other ones that just killed drives. And then the block punts, the energy stayed good, but you just can't have assignment mistakes like that.
So assignment mistakes and then some execution mistakes as well, right? Because you talked about both the block punts and sometimes it's just somebody or a few guys doing their jobs.
Absolutely. On the first one, we've showed them in practice. The overload on one side, they just need to widen their splits. And then Aaron needs to do a better job of having some urgency to get the ball off. I think he was caught a little bit off guard by the high snap, and then he still 3-stepped. We got to do a better job of getting that off. And the second one, technique. Isaac Gutierrez, the middle shield, stepped into it. He put his flipper into it instead of putting his whole body in. If he does, I don't really think they were trying to block that punt. They were just making sure we didn't fake it, and they snuck through there and got one.
So at the end of the half, the end of the first half, the Lobos have a pretty good opportunity, it looks like. Then it goes the other way. First, a call that you probably think could have gone your way, and then they're able to score on the final play of the half.
Very disappointing. I mean, I thought that was an incomplete pass that Connor Janal got caused for a fumble. We had an identical play in the first quarter when they got their field goal where we sacked them on third down, or hit the quarterback, on third down. And I thought those two looked identical. I mean, they both should have been incomplete passes in my opinion. But they called one a fumble on us, and they called theirs an incomplete pass. They got the field goal, and unfortunately, we give up a touchdown. We got cover 2 on with 7 seconds and left in the half, and Dante Martin gets run by. I mean, that should never happen. We had that happen in fall camp, and I thought we had learned from it in a 2-minute situation. Apparently, we need to continue to coach them better.
So instead of 17-0 at the half, it's 24-0 at the half. What did you say, you guys in the locker room?
I was really disappointed. I got probably the most upset I've gotten because I didn't think we were taking the fight to them. Boise State's a good football team, but it's a football team that I still feel we belonged on the same field as. And we weren't doing our things offensively physical enough to give us a chance to, whether it was breaking tackles, blocking the right guy, not making assignment mistakes. And then defensively, I was really upset, probably mostly because of that last touchdown. I mean, that's probably what threw me over the edge. We've got to do better. I mean, we had a chance to be in the game even though we had 2 block punts, and we let that one go right there at the end.
Coach G has said that his team has continued to fight and claw throughout the entire game, all game long, every week this season. But you felt like at the end of this one that maybe the Lobos got a little down on themselves?
Well, I thought the last drive there where the defense was out there and they were moving the ball a little bit. We gave up 34 yards. They were at 387 total yards, or 383, and I didn't want to get over 400, and we kind of challenged our guys, and they were able to get 34 yards before we took the ball over on downs. That mentality needs to go out there, get a 3 and out. Don't let them score. I mean, we're obviously going to lose the game at that point, but there's certain things to play for. We have not finished in the top 45 in total defense around here since 2008, and we've got a chance to do that. You've got to take those chances and capitalize on them.
And also, Lobo fans continue to be concerned about Isaiah Chavez, your redshirt freshman quarterback. They could see him go to the tent again. We know he's dealing with an ankle.
He came back on the second half in crutches with a boot. He was out there today at practice, so hopefully we'll have him on Saturday. We'll know more as the next 2 days go. He just keeps getting those nagging injuries, and they get him at key moments. I thought Bryson came in and did a good job for only practicing for the last 2 weeks.
He's talking about Bryson Carroll, the student manager, coming from acting as a GA into a backup quarterback. We'll get to the first half highlights of the Lobos in Boise State next. The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. We're back with Lobo head football coach Danny Gonzales on your Lobo Coaches Show. It's time to get to first half highlights, New Mexico and Boise State on the Blue in Boise.
Here's the first play of the game. Looked like Isaiah. Now we're going to crack that safety right there. It looks like Isaiah's going to have a 40 to 50-yard play, but we flinch it tight end and don't get lined up right. And then right there, Isaiah probably should have threw the bubble out here. We had him outnumbered on the perimeter. We're still going to have to make one guy miss, but 3rd and 16 is a tall task. And then there's our punt block. Should have widened the splits on the outside, make that guy that's coming from the very far outside too far away from getting it, and then I think Aaron has to be a little bit more, have a better sense of urgency to get that thing off. Too bad we haven't even played defense yet and we were down 7-0.
We're talking about situational awareness of a high snap, subtract a step, get that ball away
Quickly.
a little bit quicker.
Yeah, we'd rather have him kick it even if it's a short kick. We had a chance right there as Eric didn't continue on his slant route. If he creases the guy, there's a chance at a big play. And then here, now, Khalil Shakir is a great player. He made us miss a couple times right here. Should have been tackled right there by Ray Luatele. Instead of it being a no-yard return, he gets about 18 yards on the return.
You know what, though? Feeling like with the prolific pass offense that they have, that you guys are doing a pretty good job of containing Bachmeier and that host of receivers that he has.
You know, I thought we did a pretty good job in coverage. Here was the first 3 and out we had. Devin got pressure on the quarterback, caused him to throw it bad. I thought we did that a couple times on the night. We got off the field, but then again, we shoot ourselves in the foot. We had a couple of assignment mistakes on this drive out on the perimeter, whether it was cracking or protecting the box that we're able to go, and then another penalty obviously cost us to back up.
Now, one thing that we saw in this game that we hadn't seen before, situationally, in 3rd downs, you are bringing Connor Janal in at quarterback.
Well, with Isaiah's foot banged up this week, I mean, we had to kind of give Connor the best chance to throw the ball and get it out of there. So we kind of tried to mix it up a little bit. Isaiah and Bryson both threw the ball a couple times. But if we're going to be a drop back team, it's got to be a guy that can see and actually step up and throw the ball. I thought the defense did a really nice job in this series down here. It was a short field after that punt return. We kept him out of the end zone. I think we hit the quarterback right here, and I thought this was identical to what they called a fumble earlier on us. Now we picked it up. It shouldn't have been. It could have been an immediate recovery. And this is a lesson for our guys. If we pick this thing up right now and start running with it, it might be a different way the referees call it. They might call it a fumble right away and then make them go review it. It took us a little bit too long, and we practiced that stuff on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We just got to get better at it. It's got to be a habit all the time.
Here you get one in the flat to your tight end, Kyle Jarvis.
We had the rollout right there. We had a deep over that really wasn't open. I thought he made the right choice there. And then here's the second block punt. I mean, Isaac Gutierrez right there in the middle. Really wasn't a lot of pressure. You just got to block the guy right here. You see 67 right there in the middle. Use his flipper. That guy gets through there. He shouldn't be anywhere close to the punter. And we'll have that thing off and we'll go cover it. Instead, it turns into a touchdown for the Broncos.
So here's Janal again in on a 3rd and 16.
You know, I thought this was a really big play for us. We kept the drive going. They called a late hit on the quarterback. I don't like these late hits. I mean, I thought Connor was following through. The guy took one step and hit him, but they called it, and they were calling that fair on both ways on Saturday. If Isaiah on this one would have thrown the post to Elijah 2 steps earlier as opposed to the wheel route, and that was a great catch. He just didn't get in bounds by Bobby Wooden. But if he would have thrown the post, Elijah Queen was open, and it's probably a touchdown.
And let's give Trace Bruckler his props as well. He's the man who caught the ball from Janal that got you the first down. And then, of course, the late hit was another 15 yards. Bobby Cole's a little nicked up in this one.
Yeah, I thought that one looked bad, and it looked even worse on tape. I don't know if he'll be available this week, and then that was where Isaiah got nicked up right there, and he wasn't able to return. If he would have pitched that ball right there, I think Bobby would have had some, and that's just one more of those things, getting used to where we're going. Tavian Combs right there on a great field from the middle linebacker, deep safety look right there. I thought Tavian had a nice night, as well as Ronald Wilson. I thought they both played very well.
Ronald Wilson back a lot of the night at his Wolf safety, with Tavian returning to the Lobo backer. And then here's the first career pick for Dante Martin.
Yeah, this was right before the half. I thought we had a chance. I mean, now Tavian Combs is the one that had a big-time opportunity right here. If he catches that ball, he might take it for a pick six, but it got through his hands. But running around the football and running to the football, we had guys around, and Dante was able to come up with the interception. It's one of those things that we preach around here.
Yeah, Deion Hunter was there, too. He could have picked it off.
He could have. Really nice run right there by Bobby. I wish he would have kept going down the sideline and let Zero right there push him out. He was one of their better safeties. But that was a good look right there. And then this was a hot route right here off the backside that if Bryson would have pulled it and threw it right away to the slant down here on the backside, we'd have had a chance to play. But that's a tough one for a kid that hadn't practiced very much. And then there's Connor Janal coming in again. Obviously, we didn't complete the pass. We didn't have a great success, and then he comes in later and throws an interception on a ball that could have been complete. This was a big-time stop by the defense right here, right before halftime on a 4th and 1. Jaden Phillips did a great job getting penetration, and then we got off some blocks and got him short. Another opportunity to keep us in the game if we had completed that post earlier for a touchdown, to be 17-7, and we'd have the ball right there at midfield right before halftime.
So you get them off the field on downs, and you think, you know what, complete a pass or two, maybe we can get off a field goal attempt.
Yeah, I thought that one they could have called either way, but I don't mind them not calling penalties, to be honest with you, as long as they call them fair both ways. I thought that was identical to the one that they had earlier in the game, but if you see right there, Boise State does a great job of picking that up and making an immediate recovery and returning it, so the referees called it a fumble, and they reviewed it, said that it was, his hand was coming forward, but they said the ball was loose, just like the other one. So I don't know. That's how they ruled it, and that's how we're going to play it. So our job is to go out there with 17 seconds to keep him out of the end zone. This is very disappointing. Cover 2, if they throw it to that guy in the flat, so be it. We have 11 guys to go up there and tackle him. You can't get run by. They ran a bender by the inside guy. They can't give us a scissors, so they go up the middle of the sideline and they throw it over our head.
So you get them off the field on downs. You think you have a chance there near midfield offensively. The bad call, that's a heartbreaker there, that last play at the end of the half.
It was, and that call can go either way. I mean, it's human error. They call it the way they see it. I disagreed with what they called out there on the field, and I thought both of them looked the same, but it is what it is there. Our job is to go out there and just keep them from scoring. They've got 17 seconds. They run 2 plays, and on the second one, they're able to put it over our head. That's inexcusable.
This is something to discuss because we talked about it on the radio broadcast. You mentioned if the Lobos go and pick up the football and chase it down and then run with it on the one where they had the incompletion, or is it a fumble situation? I think the officials, when they see that, they're compelled not to blow the whistle because they know the replay review is up there and can check it. So if you stop play and you made a mistake, then you're really in trouble. But if you let play go and then you find out you made a mistake, at least you let the play out. That's why you go grab it and run it back.
We do it every day in practice, during 7-on-7, during team. If the ball's on the ground, the defensive guys are supposed to sprint over there and pick it up. And we did go over there and pick it up, but it was late. And if you watch the tape, not one referee signaled incomplete. Not one referee's blowing a whistle, so they weren't sure. And then the ball rolled around for a second, and then by the time we picked it up, they had decided. So if we would have done it immediately, probably would have been called a fumble.
A really good lesson to learn there. All right, we come back with second half highlights of the Lobos in Boise next. The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzalez. It's time for second half highlights. The Lobos and Boise State in Boise.
Well, we came out of the halftime down 24-0, and I mean, you're going to go out there and fight and see if you can make a game of it. This was this one right here. Devins just got let up. He didn't even hit him. I can't believe they called that, but they called it, and it is what it is. So we got to be able to do it within the white lines. We finally get some pressure right here with the 4-man rush. Jake Saltonstall came around on the stunt, and we get to the quarterback, which was good. We held him off in coverage long enough, and those guys were able to come around and get to him.
We're calling out the D linemen's names here. I mean, we've called Joey Nobles all season. You mentioned a great play by Harris in the first half. Here's Saltonstall. Those guys are making some plays.
And that was a nice tackle right there by Sarah Riley. I mean, we did some good things in space. Here's Bryson. I thought this was a really good run. He gets an 18-yard carry. The disappointing thing is the very next play, he puts the ball on the carpet. And I understand he was making copies and being a GA a week ago, but still not an excuse to put the ball on the carpet.
And we could see early on there were a couple of plays where you could tell his legs weren't quite underneath him, Coach G, but it did come around over the course of the game.
Yeah, if he gets that pitch to Luke right there, we've got a big-time play coming down the side because we've got everybody blocked up and Luke has an angle to the sideline.
So you go with the Aussie rules style punt this time.
We did. We wanted to move the pocket to make sure that they couldn't key in on what we were trying to do blocking-wise, and we did a good job. Could have done that down the end zone. It's just Aaron doesn't kick the ball as far, and when you're backed up, you'd like to get it out there as far as you can. But it would have been better than a block punt for a touchdown. Right there, Syer missed the tackle. They get a block in the back, but we've got him pinned up against the sideline. We've got to take advantage of that and just knock him out of bounds.
What did you think about your tackling at the point of attack in this game in particular? There's Cody Moon coming off the edge, making a great stop.
I thought we missed a lot of tackles in the box. I thought 24, Keneal was running really well and running hard, and Normally we don't make those, and the second and third guy in usually ones that cleans it up, but I thought we missed a few of those on Saturday night.
So here's Bryson. Was this intending to have Bryson throw the ball there?
There was a bootleg right there. We had a deep over and a shallow over, and right there the Trace Bruckler's wide open right there on the bender. Now it would have been a tight squeeze to throw the ball in there, but that's a ball that should be completed. And then right there, I thought this was a good job by Corey Hightower getting the ball out. They actually reviewed this one and turned it around, and I didn't think it looked complete from the very beginning. He was bobbling it the whole time. And Corey did a good job. He got beat on a double move at the line of scrimmage, but was able to continue on with the play and get the ball out before he could secure the catch in the end zone.
And you know what? Corey getting back into the play was huge there. Obviously, it forces them into a field goal attempt.
Yeah, we had a chance on a sack on the play right after the penalty that would have made it a lot longer field goal that we just missed him. He slipped out of us. Now, we kept him out from getting the first down, but it would have been a lot harder field goal. And the guy was making good field goals. He probably would have made it anyway, but we always wanted him to be from 50 yards rather than 40.
Here you guys get him again. Jaden Phillips involved in that one.
Thought this was disappointing. 3rd and 14. We're playing man coverage against the pressure. Now we jump off sides, which is going to be 3rd and 9 if they don't catch this. But AJ's got to make that play. And then it took them a while to get in the end zone once they get down here. So this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. The fight we've got down there, we've got some pride to keep them out of the end zone. Obviously, we get a pass interference call, which was the right call. AJ's got to play that better, turn inside. But it took them 3 more plays after that to get in the end zone. Right there's an assignment mistake by the safety. The corner coming off the edge, he's got to stay square, make sure the quarterback hands the ball off, and then we'll keep them out of the end zone. But they're still trying. They're still doing all those things. There was a nice run right there. It was a good read by Bryson to get the ball out to Bobby on the perimeter. We had a couple of good plays right there towards the end offensively, but not enough to move the ball and score.
That was the second play that we've seen in this highlight package where Bobby Wooden's in space, and you can see that he's got a little juice to him. Is that something maybe we could see more of this weekend coming up?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's very similar to Aaron early on in the season. The speed of the game, I think Bobby now, he's a sophomore, or a true sophomore, redshirt freshman, however you want to call it, because of the COVID year. I think he's finally adjusting to the speed of everything. He's getting a little bit stronger. He's more physical, and you saw some of the dynamics there on Saturday.
Just one more game in a terrific career for Joey Noble. There's Justin Harris again, but we saw Noble on the previous highlight. Their big number 98 in the white jersey. What has he meant to your program, Coach?
He's been really good for the 2 years that we've been here. He has the right energy. He plays with the right motor. We're going to miss him, and I wish we had him. I asked our compliance guy if there was any way to find a 8th, 9th, 10th year for Joey, because he'd help. And if we had had him since he was a freshman, there's no doubt he would have been a 2-time All-League guy.
All right, the Lobos fall in Boise on the Broncos' senior day. New Mexico has one of those coming up at University Stadium. It's the Lobos on a Friday against Utah State the day after Thanksgiving on the Lobos' senior day. We'll preview that next. The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. We're back to wrap up this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzalez. And Coach G, the 2021 schedule comes to a close on a Friday after Thanksgiving at home. You have an 11 a.m. kick against Utah State, and it's your senior day. And these are guys that really have bought into what you have brought to the program and have kind of been laying down the foundation, haven't they, for what you hope to do over the next 4, 5, 6 years. How important have they been?
Really important. And you got to give them a lot of credit, because what have you heard from me since I've taken this job? That it's a 4 to 5 year building process. That these guys are here and we've got to recruit to get better. We've got to get better players. And despite all that, they've bought in and they've tried to do everything they can to help us improve our program. And we've made improvement. I know the results don't show on the scoreboard always, but we've made improvements. We're going in the right direction, and they deserve a lot of that credit.
They deserve a lot of that credit, and a lot of them are junior college players, and you've talked about how maybe the junior college route is not something that you will do as a baseline for your program, and yet they have stuck it out, and they've been important as well.
They have. I mean, I've said it over and over that you can't successfully recruit junior colleges over and over and sign 20 and 25 guys of junior college and be successful. Well, that's what we did the 3 years before I took the job. And despite hearing all those things, the guys are Lobos. They are Lobos, and they know that I really care about them. I mean, I want what's best for them. They fought through everything that I've said, and they've tried to be what I want this program to be, and I'm proud of them.
Someone else that Coach Gonzalez cares a lot about is Joe Lee Dunn. He is basically one of the architects of the defense that Coach Long and you have perfected. He has passed away. We're going to honor him on Friday?
We are. We're going to, do a little moment of silence for him. Great head coach here, great defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator for Joe Morrison's crew that won 10 games. He was the head coach here from 83 to 86. And really, the 3-3-5, between him and a guy named Don Matthews, Coach Long kind of put those two schemes together and evolved into what we have today. So it'll be nice to remember a great head coach from here.
All right, the Lobos host Utah State, and this game matters a ton. UNM obviously wants to close its season with a win. Utah State is still in the battle for a Mountain Division title.
They are. They're trying to get in the championship game. Now they need some help. I'd like to spoil it for them. And then Blake Anderson's done a great job there. I think he should be one of the National Coaches of the Year for the turnaround they've had. Obviously they have talent, but he's put his finger on it and coached them the right way. And he's a good buddy of mine, and I look forward to going against him.
An unusual scenario. You're so close with him and have worked with him, worked under him, been mentored by him. You talked to him earlier this week?
I did. I talked to him on Sunday night. Just a little fun banter back and forth before we go try and compete and beat each other up on Friday.
What do opposing head coaches say a week before their contest?
I told him we're going to blitz him every single down, and he told me shocker. So it'll be fun.
What about offensively? What do you have for him?
I told him not to do all that nonsense that they do, all that voodoo stuff that they try and do, and we'll have some fun. And he knows we're going to run the triple, so they've got a great task, and so do we.
Well, you've definitely got something unique going on offense. We'll see if it can get going against Utah State.
Exactly.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. For Frank Mercogliano and Chase Christensen, I'm Robert Portnoy. That'll do it for this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. We sure hope to see you at University Stadium on Friday. Enjoy your turkey. We'll see you at 11 a.m. for kickoff. The Lobos and Utah State on Senior Day. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.